this is Rainy Day Reads, and this is FlossTube number, not really sure, FlossTube 7, I think. I forgot to check before I started filming, but I think it's FlossTube number 7. This is a whole new game for me, knowing what video number I'm doing. Like, I noticed when I started doing FlossTube, dedicated FlossTube videos, that everybody puts what number FlossTube it is. That doesn't happen in the booktube world, and I am not really I'm not really in that that mindset yet of checking to see what the last video number I did was. So anyway, it's either 6 or 7, possibly 8, but I don't think so. And the last time I posted was in the middle of Sampler September. So I have done a lot of stitching and some knitting and some crocheting in the last like two-ish weeks since I filmed. I have no finishes, but I do have a lot of whips and some new starts, which are also whips at that point, right? So I thought that I would just come on here today and film a little update since I have so much going on. And hopefully it will be relatively quick, but I also have a little bit of haul, a little bit. I feel like I bought more in the last 2 weeks. I have been kind of going crazy with purchases. I need to kind of calm it down. But some of it was for book purchases. Some of it was planner stuff because I'm into that. And only a couple of things since the last time I talked to you were cross stitch and or knitting related. So I think my friend Sarah from Tea and Stitches, that is her new FlossTube channel, she convinced me to show you my planner goodies because that kind of ties in to my future stitching stuff that I do. And also Stephanie from Just Keep Stitchin' has been showing her planner stickers lately. And goodness, it has made me want to get back into the planner sticker world. I had, before I started FlossTube or BookTube or anything, I was really into planner stickers, and it was like, oh, it was a whole thing. I had a big planner, and I was dating somebody at the time, so I had a lot of memories that I wanted to document in that way. And I mean, it really worked out for me for that like year that I was into it. But now I have a lot of leftover stickers and not as much going on in my life. So I have redeveloped my planner system, and it will involve my stitching. So I will show that later on. But that's enough rambling. I feel like every FlossTube video that I make is like really rambly and all over the place. I haven't really gotten into a groove yet with this. So I hope you're okay with that. But yeah, now I guess let's just move on to my whips. So the last time that we talked, we were in the middle of Sampler September, which I mentioned earlier. And I love the look of the old-fashioned samplers. That is like my heart. I'm like a vintagey person, but weirdly that is not my decorating style on most occasions, and it's not like really something that I can envision putting in my house anywhere. So I don't really ever see myself participating fully in Sampler September. That might change, who knows. But I did have the one sampler that I could do, and that is, because it is still currently a whip, Walk Fast by Lindy Stitches, and I will put it up here, what the finished project will look like. I made this my focus project, but I didn't get as much done on it as I was hoping to get done. However, I feel like I got a lot accomplished over the month. So here is where we are, whoop, with Walk Fast. So since we talked last, I finished the entire, well, I think it's the entire, yeah, pretty much the entire top border. Oh, actually, there's a little bit more. So I finished the entire top border, and I started going down the one edge of the border, but I also filled in this little, hold on, let me see if I can get this here, this little kitty cat, which my friend Sarah from Tea and Stitches, who I mentioned before, she is also doing this pattern, and she had done this little cat, and I thought she just like added it in. I didn't think it was in the actual pattern because I'm using Pattern Keeper for this, and when you highlight stitches, sometimes it doesn't show you the stuff around it. I mean, it does, but I don't know, somehow I missed it. But I was like, where'd that little kitty come from? I like it. And she's like, well, it's in the pattern. So I was like, oh yeah, it is. Okay. So I had forgotten one of my little animals. So I got that done. And then I finished, let's see. Oh, I'm not very good at this yet. Goodness gracious. I finished the wording down here, and I put in this little walker guy, and I started the fish fin. So yeah, I'm very happy with it. I think I'm about almost 50% done at this point, and hopefully I have already put up where I was the last time we talked about this pattern, but if not, I will do it now. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. This will probably go away for the month of October because like I said, I have some new starts and some new focus pieces. So, and this doesn't really have like a due date. I mean, I just make arbitrary due dates, but this is just like for funsies. So it doesn't really ever have a point where it has to get done. I'm not even really sure what I'm going to do with it yet. My cousin really likes the Golden Girls, and I like them too, but she's really into it, and she's like in her early 20s, so like this is all, the Golden Girls is all new to her. So you know, I was thinking about at some point possibly giving it to her as a gift, like if she would get her own place or something like that. But I'm not sure about that yet. It depends because it's a lot of work, so I kind of want to keep it for myself. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I feel like that sounded really selfish, that I was like, I just want to keep this for myself, even though my cousin would probably really like it. But I mean, I feel like you get me, that like people that don't cross stitch don't always appreciate how much work goes into the cross stitch, right? Like even before I got back into cross stitch, after, you know, many years of not doing it, I had forgotten how long it takes to finish one project. So I feel like people that don't do it think that you can just whip it up in a weekend, and it's like, no, that's not really how that works. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. We'll see. So the other project that I am still behind on, but I'm slowly working my way to being caught up, is the Temperature Tree by the Stitch and Mommy. And I'm started on July's branches, so I am quite far away from where I should be at this point. It is the beginning of October, so I should be starting on September's branches, because generally what I was doing before I got behind was I would like kind of keep track of all the temperatures in my journal, and then put what floss color I needed to use for that day. And then at the end of the month, I would start doing those branches or doing those leaves. So, but I definitely got behind on that. But so I'm thinking I might actually today try to get a little bit more caught up. So I haven't started stitching today. I'm making myself do housework and things before I will allow myself to stitch. So, yeah, but I really am enjoying this project. It's just, I kind of forget about it because I only really work on it once a month, maybe. Um, so I need to pull it out more often so I can get caught up. I can't believe it. We're almost to the end of the year. Like how much I've already gotten done. And the next thing that I worked a very little bit on, I think I just pulled it out one day and did like one length of floss in one color on this project, was my Night Cafe by Heaven and Earth Designs. It is a mini version, and I always forget the actual artist's name, but I will try to remember to put it below or in or down here. So, but this is the progress that I have made on it so far. And I think that the parts that I did was this orangey color. Forget which one that is, what DMC color that is, but so I mean, it's getting there. This will definitely be a long-term project. Eventually, I will put it back on my rotation for a focus project, but I want to really get a couple of other projects done first before I will. This will probably be a focus for me for 2022, I think. Yeah, I'm calling it now. This will be a focus in 2022. And the final whip ish it's not my new start, is my Alice and the Flamingo by Mrs. Pagati Art, and she is on Etsy. I will link her below. And this has been basically my focus project since October of 2020. My original goal was to have her done by October 1st of this year so that I could start a new companion piece for her, but that is not going to happen. So now my new goal is to have her done by the end of this year. So by December 31st of 2021, I would like to have her done. We'll see. But this is my progress on her so far. And this actually also encompasses yesterday's stitching, because I was like, like I said, I started some new starts on October 1st, and I thought, I need to remember to pick her up still and try to get 2 pages done, because that's what I have told myself, or, kind of calculated that I have to get done per month in order to have her done by December 31st. So, yeah, I'm very happy with the progress so far, but I would like to get more progress. I'd like to get her done. Oh, and I haven't been saying that Alice is just done on 14 count white Aida from Michaels and the DMC. Walk Fast is being done on, I believe it's 18 count Aida from Picture This Plus in the color Vellum. Night Cafe is being done on 25 count Easy Grid. I forget the brand of this. I forget. But yeah, 25 count. That's probably why this is going to take me forever. Oh, and I'm doing this one in 10th stitch, half stitch. So yeah, that's the first time I've ever done that. I don't think that I really like it. But it does go a lot faster than regular full stitches, so there's that. But I actually have thought about restarting this on just an 18 count Aida, since it's a mini. I figured it wouldn't be like that obnoxiously huge, and just doing full cross stitches. But again, Sarah from Tea and Stitches was like, yikes. And I was like, yeah, never mind. I'm not going to restart it. Okay, so that is all my whips from before October 1st. And October 1st, I started 2 new things. And yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking, but I mean, you floss tubers can all relate, correct? I would never have had this many new starts before finishing another thing before I got into FlossTube. I was always a one book at a time kind of girl before I started BookTube, and a one crafty project at a time before I started FlossTube. So, oh goodness. So the first new start that I have for the month of October is in conjunction with the month-long readathon that I am participating in, known as Victober. And I think I mentioned before on my last FlossTube, and you have probably, even if you don't watch those videos, seen me put up some book videos about Victober. And it is a month-long readathon devoted to reading Victorian literature. And every year, one of the hosts has put together she calls it a knit and listen. Last year it was a stitch and listen. And either way, you can do whatever kind of crafty project you want. And last year for the Stitch and Listen was when I started Alice and the Flamingo. And this year I decided I was going to start another literature-based piece for Victorian literature. And that piece is the Jane Eyre portrait, I think is what it is officially called. This is also by Mrs. Pagodi Art, or Pagodi Art. I'm not really sure how you say her name. But I just really love the colors in this. I mean, obviously this just comes off of my printer, so it doesn't really do it justice, but I just really love this piece. And I'm like really itching to stitch more of it. But over the first on Friday and Saturday. No, what is today? Today is Saturday. So whenever the first was Friday. No, is this Sunday? What the heck day is it? I don't even know. So yes, okay, Friday and Saturday, I stitched a very little bit, honestly. And this is, here, we'll do it on this side this time. Move my coffee so I don't get coffee all over everything. But this is how much I got done on her. So I just love those colors though. I'm trying to be a little bit more strategic in I was gonna try to do like the diagonals, but my brain doesn't want to do that. I don't know why, but I was like, how does this work? I don't understand diagonal stitching. So we're just gonna try to go along the top and down, I think. So, but anyway, oh, and I also wanted to show you this little wine glass, what is this called? Needle minder that my friend Sarah sent me from Tea and Stitches. I'm going to mention her a lot because she is my stitching guru. So yes, that is so cute. And it doesn't really go with Jane Eyre necessarily, but I thought it went well with like a lot of the colors that are in this piece. So yeah, that was my very small start on Jane Eyre, and I am really excited. It's going to be smaller, I think, I know. It's going to be smaller than, I'm trying to stand it up beside me on my table. That's not working. Than Alice in Wonderland, and they're going to be side by side with each other, so I think I'm going to have to somehow try to do some matting magic to try to make them look relatively the same size. We'll see. I don't know. I've got plenty of time because, I mean, if I keep a little bit more on task with Jane Eyre than I did on Alice, I might be able to get it done before October 1st of next year. Because being that it's smaller, but who knows? Who even knows? And then last but not least for my new starts is the pattern We Three by Lindy Stitches. You will notice a theme that I really enjoy Lindy Stitches and Mrs. Pagodi Art. And I am also selling this with my friend Sarah from Tea and Stitches. She really likes Halloween and cats, black cats specifically. And I was in I I want to say I was in the play Macbeth that this is from. I was not in the official Shakespearean play Macbeth, like that would have been like 3 hours long, whatever. I wasn't in that official one, but I was in a couple of, I was in like a dramatic reading of the play, and I was in a spoof on Macbeth where the three witches are in it. So, and we are saying lines from the Shakespeare play. So I thought that this was like something that I kind of needed to do for memory's sake. And I just thought it was cute, and it's a monochromatic stitch, which I'd never done before now, and I really liked the green color of fabric. So anyway, I'm just gonna show you my progress. This is the progress I have from the last couple of days. And thankfully the camera is picking up the color of the fabric better than like my camera when I try to take photos of it for Instagram, because it's like not coming out well at all for my for like Instagram photos. So I haven't really done that too much yet. But yeah, I like that scrolly work a lot. And it was pretty fast stitch, honestly. And this fabric is 16 count Ada from Xjude Designs. I got it off of Fire Poppies, because I was looking for some other fabric that was unavailable, and then I saw this and I was like, that's perfect. So yeah, so I'm really enjoying. If you are someone who likes Ada stitching, but you don't really like how stiff Ada fabric can be, I so far would recommend Picture This Plus. Picture This Plus is very floppy Ada. It's almost like too floppy, if that's a thing. But yeah, I really like that. But I really also like this Xjude Design Ada fabric. It's like just right. It's a little bit stiff, but it is like floppy enough that I don't feel like it's cardboard. So yep, I am looking forward to continuing on with this stitch too. This might become like my travel stitching, I think, like when I go to work or whatever, because like I wouldn't need a lot of floss for this. I would only need one color. It's going to be a relatively small stitch, and it's pattern keeper friendly, so I can just take my Kindle with me that has the pattern keeper app on it, and I feel like it would be really easy to just whip out and do some stitches on my lunch break or whatever. So I think this will become my new travel piece. So it should probably, I would not be surprised if I could actually get this done by Halloween. That would be cool. It won't get displayed by Halloween, that's for sure, because yeah, finishing doesn't seem to be a thing that I am really concerned about. So, oh well. Okay, so that is all of my actual stitching right now. But let me show you the one thing. I can't show you one of the things that I have been knitting on, but let me show you what I have been crocheting on for the last few weeks. So this is going to seem like a really funny thing that I am stitching, and it is. I'm not stitching this, I am crocheting this. But I have had this Hufflepuff yarn from Forbidden Fiber Co. for probably over a year now. And I was going to knit socks out of it, but then I was like, it's so pretty. Sometimes it's hard for me to want to use nice yarn for actual socks, because I'm like, nobody sees them. They're just on my feet. And whatever. I mean, I will do it, but it's like, what could I make that is potentially a one skein project that I could use this yarn for, and you'd actually see it on my body. I started a shawl out of it, but then I don't know, I kind of got bored with the shawl idea, and I'm still thinking I'm probably gonna use that shawl on another skein of Forbidden Fiber Co. yarn that I have, but I was kind of like, I'd rather just use this Hufflepuff yarn for something else. So I found a bralette pattern, or a halter bralette pattern on the channel MJ Off the Hook, I believe is the channel name. I'll link her below. But she does like free crochet tutorials and puts the patterns up on her site. And the patterns are not free necessarily. I did buy the pattern from her Etsy shop or something. But anyway, this is where I've gotten so far. I have the bra cups, basically. And I did supplement the Forbidden Fiber Co's yarn with some just Knit Pick Stroll in black. It probably has an actual name, but it's basically just black. For the band, and I probably will use it for the halter straps as well, which I haven't gotten to yet. But this will not be an actual bralette for me, and it will have a modesty panel in it because your girl's not gonna wear anything out in public like this. So, but and the pattern itself does come with a modesty panel. It's not something I am adding. The pattern has it. So, but I'll probably do that in the black. And then I'm gonna make with the remaining Forbidden Fiber Co's yarn that I have. I am going to just make the body as long as I can make it. It'll probably still be short, but yeah, I'm just gonna make it as long as I can make it. That way, hopefully, will cover my entire stomach, and it'll basically just end up being a halter top. So we'll see. But yeah, I really like how it's turning out so far. It's been a while since I've crocheted, and it is faster than knitting, but sometimes I find it's weird because I started out with crochet and I could not get knitting whatsoever. But once I got the hang of knitting and I just like it clicked for me, I almost find crochet harder to like keep track of stitches and make sure that the edges are straight and all that stuff. I find that actually harder to wrap my brain around. So I'm glad that it's coming out well so far. I've started the back panel in the black yarn because you have to crochet like 4 inches for the back panel and then like meet it up with down here, and it'll go up to here a little bit, and you sew that on, and then you can crochet basically in the round sort of the bottom part. So yeah, that is my crochet whip currently. And then I brought out my sock whip, but then I realized that my friend who is getting these socks for Christmas might actually watch this episode, so I'm not going to show them. But I have been knitting a pair of socks, which she does know she's getting, for my friend Kim for Christmas, and I'm knitting them with some Knit Picks yarn. So once they're done and once she gets them, I will show you the completed socks, and so that will be hopefully a December video for you. Okay, so that is all of my knitting, crocheting progress so far right now. No big sweater projects right now. I am kind of itching to start a new sweater, but I'm going to make myself finish some other projects first before I start any more big sweater projects. Okay, so now we will just get into my little bit of haul that I have, and then we will wrap things up. Okay, so the first thing I will talk about is the patterns that I have acquired in the last month or so. I think that I forgot to tell you that I bought this pattern on my last podcast vlog or whatever this is. But I had bought this, I think, at the beginning of September. And it is the Autumn Town by Autumn Lane Stitchery that I have been seeing everywhere on the interwebs recently, and it sucked me in because I am a sucker for anything fall foliage. and this was just delightful. I probably will not get to it this autumn, but I am glad that I have it in my stash. The only thing that I'm finding is that I can't get it into Pattern Keeper. So if anybody knows what I'm doing wrong, it's telling me that it can't come up with the grid for it or something. And then when I kind of do the grid myself, whatever, it won't let me click on things. I don't know. I don't know if it's like a Pattern Keeper update that is kind of messing up, or if it's me. It's probably me. Let's be honest. But I don't mind too much because honestly, aside from like keeping track of my stitches every day, I am perfectly fine with working off a paper pattern. I actually have to do that for the Mrs. Pagodi art patterns that I have, because they will go into Pattern Keeper, but the design of it gets all messed up in there. It's not like, it doesn't look like the pattern on the picture on the front. It's, like the columns are all messed up. I can't really describe it to you, but it doesn't really work out as far as like seeing how much of the pattern you have done in the whole picture form. But it will work for me to count the stitches. So I kind of somehow fudge it every day. Yeah, this Autumn Lane Stitchery one, I can't seem to even get it to where it will let me highlight the stitches. So if you know, or if you're having that problem with this pattern, if you have it, let me know. Let me know what I can do about that. So let's see, what else? Oh, so exciting. I got my first custom pattern design done, and I was very excited about it. I found this website, this Etsy shop called, I believe it's called New Designs Studio. I'll put her below. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what her name is, but she has these really cute designs that are for different cities in the world. And she had one for like Ohio, a city in Ohio. She had one she had like some really, more to me, obscure cities in the US, but she didn't have Pittsburgh. So I just messaged her and I asked, is there like maybe a Pittsburgh one in the works? I don't really need it right now. I just, was wondering if you had any plans to get this, to do a Pittsburgh stitch, because I thought it was really cute. So she messaged me back and said she could do a custom one for me, but it would take her a couple of days. And I was like, oh, well, okay, sure, that's fine. And surprisingly, it did only take her a couple of days, and it's really, really pretty. I'll put it up here. So I don't really know when I'm going to stitch this, but I definitely will. She was able to put the Pittsburgh Zoo on there, which is a really big staple. The National Aviary, which honestly is not really something that I would have picked to put on there, but I love penguins, and I love that pretty parrot that is on there. So I was like, hey, we'll keep it. And then a welcome to Pennsylvania sign. But the thing that I love the most about it is the Pittsburgh skyline at the top. So yeah, I'm really excited to start stitching this, because yeah, I think, like, honestly, I don't live in Pittsburgh proper, but when you come across one of the bridges or out of one of the tunnels and you see the Pittsburgh skyline, I'm like, now this is a really pretty city. I'm not normally somebody that's like, yeah, cities are really beautiful, but this one I'm like, yeah, it's nice. So, yeah, I'm really excited to get to stitch this eventually. So those are the only two patterns that I have acquired in the last month, which is kind of surprising to me. The only other stitchy thing that I bought was off of 123 Stitch, and it is a cone of DMC 310. I decided that this was a probably a worthwhile purchase if I'm going to continue stitching, which, obviously I will. And being that I'm doing that We3 pattern that is all done in DMC 310, and yeah, just I figured it was a worthwhile purchase. So I got a cone from 123 Stitch, and now I just need to find a place to store it, which my office slash craft room slash library needs an overhaul anyway. So we'll find a place to put this. And that's all of the really official stitching stuff that I have acquired. So now I am going to, like Stephanie from Just Keep Stitching, which isn't she a delight? I mean, I'm sure you all know about Stephanie and Pam already, but good gracious, I just found them recently and I want to binge all of their episodes because they are just a delightful mother-daughter pair. They are so funny. They're just so nice. And Stephanie is hilarious. And I love just all their little like kitschy stuff that they do throughout their episodes. They're so funny. But anyway, Stephanie has started to get into planners and memory planning, which I used to do many moons ago. And I kind of got out of it because, buying stickers for your planner or, just any of that is pretty expensive. And I was like, you know what? I need to back off a little bit. But then I started watching Stephanie and talk about her planner stickers. And I was like, well, here we go. I'm just going to have to do this again. But my life is not really full enough at this point in time to be in a big like Erin Condren planner or even the bigger recollections planners from Michaels that are supposed to imitate the EC planner. So I have another friend, Felicia from Little Prairie Library, who is really into planners and she does stitching, or no, she does knitting. She does not do stitching yet. But she is starting to be my planner enabler. So yeah, that's exciting. And she has convinced me that I need one of these little Hobonichi Weeks planners. And sorry for the glare, but I got a clear cover from the sticker shop Boulder Bond with my name on it. It's like embossed on there. So I got the clear cover for it. But I decided I was going to bite the bullet and buy a Hobonichi Weeks planner for 2022 because it is so small. And I feel like that's really all I need right now. And I am going to, let me see here if I can show you stuff because I already kind of started setting it up. Let's be honest here. But this is the first week that it starts, and I already had a sticker kit from something I was going to try last year, and I just never did. So I already put in my first week in this planner for December, and it starts December 2021, and it'll go through December of 2022. And I think how this relates to stitching is, if you can see, and of course, this is just the sticker kit, so I don't know exactly how, depending on if I buy more sticker kits or not for the weekly versions, the weekly spreads. I'm going to, in these 3 spots here, I think I'm going to put how many stitches I did this day, how many pages I read this day, and then, I don't know, maybe something extra in there. I don't know what else I would put in there, like maybe if I started anything new that day or something like that. But yeah, I have plans to make my Hobonichi Weeks into somehow kind of a stitching, crafty reading journal type of a thing. It's going to basically be my everyday kind of planner. Because I just really don't need a whole heck of a lot of room anymore. Oh, sorry, I keep hitting my table. But I really want to have like everything in one place. So, yeah, This is what I'm going with. And oh, okay, so how this relates to Stephanie and her planner stickers. You already saw that I already put a sticker kit in there for the weekly view, but I also bought monthly view stickers. So these are from the Etsy shop Lexi Kylie Designs, and she does all different types of planner monthly kits, and she does some weekly kits for the bigger planners. I haven't seen that she's done any weekly planner kits for the Hobonichi at this point, but she is doing monthly Hobonichi weeks kits. So I bought this one for November because originally I thought that the Hobonichi weeks started in November of 2021, but it doesn't. So I'll just keep this for next November. But yeah, this is so pretty. So I also ordered the December kit, but it hasn't come in yet because I can use that for the December. Yeah, because as far as for like, events and things like that, I really only need to look at the monthly view. I just need like my weeklies for like tracking purposes. Which way? I had it upside down. So that's how this is going to pertain to the crafty side of me. And if you are somebody that likes planner stickers and you know of a shop that has stickers that are specifically designed for like tracking your stitching or tracking your crafting, let me know because I would be interested in those. Then also another thing that I bought that will go with my whole stitching thing, I think, is this is a Stalogy and an A6, and it is also a Japanese planner that just has graph paper. And I think that I'm going to turn this into my crafty journal. So the place where I actually put like pictures of my finished projects and just information about each one. I think that's what I'm going to use this planner for. I'm not 100% sure because I also have a lot of other journaly type things that I want to do. But I learned from starting a pair of socks for my friend Kim that I told you about earlier that I had somehow lost all the information on like how big her foot was, how many stitches I did on the last pair of socks. So I'm just kind of flying blind on that. But once she gets them, like she did tell me how long her foot is so that I have that information again. But once I actually give them to her and I make sure that they fit the same as the other pair, I'm going to write it down this time and be like, if you make Kim another pair of socks, because she is very knit-worthy in that respect, that you need to make them with these needles with this many stitches and this length, and it should fit just fine. So that's the thing. You need to find yourself knit-worthy friends, people, because Kim is like, I wear these socks all the time that I made her last year. She's like, could you make me another pair? I'm like, yes, friend. Yes, I will make you another pair of socks and give myself another reason to knit a pair of socks. So I think that is it. This ended up being a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Sorry. Well, sorry, not sorry. You guys like the longer videos. I watch FlossTube all the time. They're at least an hour long, so I haven't quite hit an hour yet, and I'll probably have to cut some of this out anyway for like me rifling through stuff and getting up and doing all the things. So it will be less than an hour maybe. So maybe you don't care. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like. You can subscribe if you would like. I'm not usually somebody that's like says all those things, but hey, I'll say it here. And yeah, tell me what you are working on for the month of October. Are you into all the fall themed things, or are you doing something specific? Oh, and if you have ever stitched a Mrs. Pagodi art and you have it somewhere on like your Instagram or something, tell me, because I would like to see it, because I want to stitch all of her patterns, especially all the literary ones. So All right, friends, I will probably see you in the next couple of weeks. I think a couple of weeks works for me. Yeah, I would say so. All right, I'll talk to you later, friends. Bye.